What's up, people? We are here for qualifier number 2 of the Team Liquid Legacy Star League Season 2. I am Sale, and I'm flying solo again today, but that's alright. Went pretty well yesterday, I think. We had some pretty awesome games. If you did miss qualifier number 1, the VODs are already available. I will probably spoil the results here, but oh well. It's just a qualifier. It's fine. So yeah, from yesterday we had a Terran player qualify, which is awesome. We had IFU's Marwin make it through, and I think Alfio came in second place, getting 85 points or something like that. So that was pretty cool. The semi-final match, by the way, between Whistler and Marwin, I highly recommend watching that. It was a really entertaining series all around. So if you haven't seen that already, you should check that out after this cast. After the cast. So for today, it's going to be the same deal as yesterday. I will cast a couple of random good games that referees give me from the earlier rounds, and then we'll go on to do both semi-final matches and then the final match. And let me also quickly go to the format, just in case anyone is still not familiar. It's pretty similar to last season, but instead of six qualifiers, we're down to 4 qualifiers, out of which 12 players advance, the 4 winners, and then 8 people with points, and they'll go on to the round of 24. And from there, it's basically the same as last season, with I guess the main exception being the round of 16 is now a best of 3 format. So that's super exciting. And our first match of the day is going to be, I believe, from the round of 32. It's going to be iNF3cted versus Mazur PL. Reppin' Team Poland there. It's going to be a PvZ on Neo Jade, and I'm super excited for this because I hype Mazur's PvZ non-stop to the point where Kid Canada, aka Draw, actually challenged Mazur to a grudge match because he felt that I was overhyping him. And that actually turned out to be very entertaining. I casted that as well. So yeah, let's see if he can live up to some of the hype here playing against Infected. Infected, of course, did actually qualify for last season of TLS, but he unfortunately made a mistake in when his group was supposed to be played for the round of 24. So he dropped out 0-2 without even playing a game, and is back here in the qualifiers. I'm sure he would like a proper shot this time. So yeah, with that, I think we will just go into the game. Alright, here we are in game number 1. At the top left as the brown Zerg, we have iNF3cted, and at the bottom left as the yellow Protoss, we have Mazur. It's been a long time since we've last met. Oh, this is good. These are like the lines from an old Western movie. These 2 old rivals meeting once again. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Let me just put round of 32 up here. Oh no, Infected's weaker. That saying that kind of thing often means cheese. I'm just saying. You know, you start out the game being like, yeah, I'm a little bit rusty. That also gets your excuses out of the way in case you lose. You're like, oh yeah, I'm totally, haven't played a game in 8 years or something. Like Draw does that all the time. Dude like plays all the tournaments and he ladders non-stop. But every time he plays an important game, he's like, yeah, I'm completely inactive, man. I never play games. Anyway, this is a best of 1 in round of 32. It's only best of 3 starting from the round of 8. And look at this, look at this. Okay, so Mazur is doing the trick where he's going to scout this middle space in between their bases, and if he doesn't see an Overlord, he'll probably go straight to the top right. But Infected actually sent his Overlord towards the middle, so the probe is actually randomly going to see it anyway. Look at that! So now the probe should go back in. See, what would have happened if the Overlord wasn't there is the probe would just go straight to the top right. And I thought this Overlord would actually keep going, but no, he stopped to look for the probe, so yeah, so they kind of randomly saw each other there. Both doing very tricksy scouting patterns. This was a overpull, I believe. I assume. Something like that. And Mazzour is going to get the first scout off, even though he did end up going forge first. Actually, I think against an overpull in close positions, you do have to get the forge first anyway. If you're in cross positions on a 4-player map, you can sometimes get away with going Nexus first against an overpull if you cut like the probe or two. But you know, not really worth taking the risk. Now the hatchery, natural hatchery is planted for infected, so he's not going to be able to make all 6 lings immediately. In fact, he did make a drone with one of his larvae. Anyway, actually, I'm not sure if that was before the pool finished. I'm not quite paying attention. But if you make the hatchery there after an overpool, you don't really have enough money to make all 6 lings straight away anyway. If you want to, that is. Overpool doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make 6 lings. You could just make 2 or 4, chase the probe around a little bit. And then there's Mazur being quite careful here, making the cannon straight away. I guess given the ling timing, if Infected had made 6 lings, he would need it, but I don't know. I thought he saw the hatchery, in which case I don't know. You could try and be greedy and get the Nexus. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what Mazur's doing. It's pretty safe, but I mean, now we can see it's pretty clear that, you know, just 2 lings out, chasing the probe, could have snuck that Nexus out a little bit faster. Anyway, where is the drone going? Okay. Oh. Is he going to right side natural? Yes, he is. So he's taking the gas already, which is fairly quick, a little bit before his third goes up. But I think that's just because this drone is late. I mean, look at how many minerals he has. I think this was supposed to go over here a little bit sooner, and I'm not sure why it didn't, to be honest. So he's making this third hatchery on like 600 minerals, which is really not ideal. Man, he really must be rusty. All right, there we go. So that hatchery goes up. And otherwise, looks like Mazur is just going to stick with 1 cannon. I think that's a pretty good idea on this map. On Jade, in this position, it's really easy to wall. You can see this is all nice and tight. Just a little gap up here to block. That's super duper easy to block. So I think so far looking pretty good for both players. Really, I mean, you know, Infected's third got delayed a little bit. It's not the end of the world. And whoa, what's going on here? Uh-oh, Le Double drone block. It's gonna cost you a good amount of minerals actually, because he's only got 2 lings. So if Mazur actually micros this properly, you can just keep being annoying for a little while here. Although he's taking quite a few hits, surprisingly, it's actually just gonna run away. So that's very suspicious. But in fact, it doesn't actually do anything cheesy. You know, he doesn't have a hydrogen going up or anything like that. So you know, he did the drone block to keep the Protoss in the dark, maybe scare Mazur a little bit. Like, is Mazur gonna make more cannons here? He's not actually making more cannons. See, if I had seen a drone block like that, I'd be like, I don't know what's going on here. Kind of want to make at least a 2nd cannon. Sticking with 1 cannon when the Zerg is really aggressively blocking that ramp is probably a little bit dangerous. Interestingly, Mazur also dropped the Stargate at his natural instead of the main. So this main Overlord is not really seeing anything that's going on here. And obviously this guy can't go in far enough. So Mazur's kind of hidden everything so far. Getting +1 attack right now. Could be going for some Corsair Zealot action. And has somehow randomly snuck a Zealot here into the main base. Sorry, I didn't catch how he did that. But he's actually going to scout that. It's just completely normal inside Infected's main. So all of that effort that Infected put blocking that ramp really didn't do too much there. I mean, he didn't even force a 2nd cannon, which is really what surprises me. That Mazur felt confident enough not to get that 2nd cannon, even though he was getting really hardcore denied. I don't know, maybe he felt that because this third hatchery was all the way over here, it was a little bit less likely. Like, if it was going to be a 3-hatch Hydra, I think it'd be more likely that Infected would have just put the hatchery here at this close third, and then, you know, obviously the rally distance is much closer, and you don't really need to worry about the fact that it's a slightly more vulnerable base, because your goal is to kill the Protoss before it even gets to mid-late game anyway. So we do have +1 stairs on the way, and Citadel as well. So I'm almost certain that this is, you know, the good old Corsair speed lot mid-game tactics. Meanwhile, first Corsair is actually going to go Overlord hunting. It looks like that Dragoon, by the way, earlier did kill the Overlord that was here. So yeah, we've got 2 Overlord kills already. I really like this initial Goon, by the way. This is a bit of a stylistic thing, and against some Zerg players who are more careful, they'll move the Overlord out so you can't actually kill it. But even then, it's like, you know, it's fine, you just made a Dragoon. So we do have 2 Corsairs coming out. Now some Scourge are going to be on the way. These Corsairs might get at least one more Overlord here. Yeah, they're definitely going to get this one. Not sure if they'll have time to get even another one, but whatever the case here, 3 Overlords down already this early in the game is a pretty big blow to the Zerg. So he's going to go after this one. I really doubt he'll get it. Looks like a couple Overlords hiding on the side as well. Oh, actually, looks like, he's going to get it. Is he going to lose a Corsair though? No, he does barely get it. He's got to be a little bit careful. These Scourge are going to try and intercept before he gets back to the base. Of course, if you're running away with Corsair from pursuing Scourge, the ideal evasive maneuvers are to go at 45-degree angles, because for some reason that's really hard for the Scourge to follow. And it's like, wow, gets away nicely. Cool. Meanwhile, though, Infected doesn't seem to care too much. He's like, all right, if I don't have Overlords, so I can't make units, then I might as well just make another hatchery. That seems pretty reasonable. And he's doing the good old sim-seeing up. So it looks like Infected is in fact going for the Turtley Zerg. Get a 4th pretty quickly and just rely on SimCity and stacked events to not die for the time being. This is actually a very similar opening to the game we saw yesterday between Desakwe and Malkia, I think his name was, where Desakwe went Sarah's Zealot and Malkia went for the fast 4th, and actually held it off pretty well here. Turtle Zerg is pretty hard to actually break, even with Sarah's Zealot. Although if you can get a run by into the 4th, that's actually ridiculously awesome. Anyway, some Scourge poking in here. Gonna scout out what's going on. There's the trapped probe, so he can stack Corsairs. What does he have actually? Okay, looks like he's got 4 or 5? 4? I think it's 4. He does have +1 as well. And it looks like he's running a DT up here, so he's maybe gonna try and push these Overlords away so the DT can run into the main base. Very, very dangerous here. We saw in yesterday's game, actually, Malkia made Spore colonies immediately at these bases. But in this case, Infected is just relying on the Overlords and the Sunkens, which is a little bit risky here. Oh man, there's 3 DTs. This could be very bad if these run into the main base. There's only 1 Overlord in position. This one's a little bit far out. There's no Overlord speed, and not really enough Scourge to actually deter these Corsairs. No Overlords being researched. I'm pretty sure that hasn't even started yet. So if this Overlord dies, oh man, these DTs could just run straight in. The DTs are going in right now. The Scourge are coming in from the back, but they all get taken down. The DTs moving back, waiting for that second Overlord to die. And oh my god, there's 5 DTs are busting the front here. There's no detection. A nice emergency evolution chamber wall from Mazur, but there's nothing to detect this. Infected can't believe it. 5 DTs at this point in the game. Infected was going mutas, but that's not going to do anything. Emergency Overlords do pop, but the DTs just have such high DPS that the Sunkens are getting obliterated. So much win. No, dude, you lost, man. You lost. It's the other way around. Mazzour won the game. Sarah DT, like a boss. Alright, that's gone badly. So now Infected just has to collect himself before leaving the game. He's actually apparently quite amused by this. He's even chanting Cole's name. I don't know what that's about. I guess he's a Cole fan. I like Cole. He's pretty cool. Funny thing is, Cole's worst matchup is EV3 too. I'm pretty sure Cole's died to this kind of thing a lot of times. Maybe he's blaming Cole. Ah, curse that little German kid. Nah, I'm just kidding. Alright, so I guess this is where we don't leave the game, even though our main base is dead. That sounds reasonable. That sounds legit. Alright. I guess he's got mutas. Where the Corsairs go? There. Hey. So right. I guess when these die, that'll be it. Done. Do I need to give you something? Yeah, you technically don't have to, in fact. There is, in fact, no mana rule here. Like there was in... What was the league that had, like, required GG? Was it Gambit's Cup or something? Best of 7 go? Oh, man. He's challenged Mazur to best of 7 after Mazur, like, plays the rest of the qualifier. That's pretty cool. Oh, man, I should go cast those games after we're done today. Oh, I hope they actually play that and like send me the replays. Random best of 7 grudge match induced by the TLS2 qualifier. Alright, good times, good times. So with that, Gonna go to a quick break and then come back for some more games. Don't go anywhere, guys.